Welcome, everybody, to this episode of the Armchair Bookers Podcast, episode number 42. We got Fridge, we got Stoney, we got JK, we got Doc, and we got Maverick in the house tonight. How's everybody doing?
I'm feeling great.
I'm triggered because I'm used to fucking JK doing this, and everything feels
I had to
off.
shake things up a bit.
Hey, man. I ain't triggered. I can appreciate that.
What the hell is that? Because, hey, JK, not for nothing. The only thing that I didn't hear is what episode is this?
He fucking
I
said what
did say
episode it
what
He
was.
said what episode it
You
was.
weren't fucking
I
listening,
don't
as
listen to
usual.
any of you guys. That's something for the producer there.
Fuck.
What episode is this?
I think-
Episode number 42.
And
Absolutely.
how in the hell did we get here, boys?
We've just been
I-
recording. We've been hitting the record button every Thursday, basically. Sometimes Friday.
And as usual, 45 seconds into the episode, already a train wreck.
I can appreciate though taking the first
Train
30
wreck
seconds
with-
of this off
train
for
wreck
Stoney
with
to do the
balls.
introduction. I'm all about
Hey,
that.
listen, man. You for the last 42 weeks, you've been hitting us with that intro. I had to take it off your hands once.
Well, it makes sense because not only did he lose his hosting duties, he lost his advocacy duties because the champ is here.
And he's not talking about me anymore, guys, for the records, because I decided to go on a wild limb and choose the Shield to lose. Because somebody had to in this group, and it was a risk, and it came down literally to the last match of the night in between us two. And it was a phenomenal fight back and forth. And as one watched the triple powerbomb and cheered, the other one watched her triple powerbomb, then shit himself because he knew his championship reign was over.
All I
But
gotta
I
know.
will be back at WrestleMania, baby. I promise you that.
All
I'm
I
gonna
gotta know is how you were
WrestleMania.
feeling when your advocate raised his hands in victory that he's no longer your advocate. How you feeling?
Oh, you'll be back.
This is a soft R rated podcast, all right?
Soft rated R? What the hell is that?
A soft R. A soft R. It's a
The
half,
soft
and a
R
hard
rated
R, you know what
star.
I'm
The
a
fridge.
soft R.
There's
Full
a
balls, half
t-shirt.
cock.
The soft R rated star.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I'm
I'm gonna make this short and sweet. My championship speech. I'm gonna mirror the best heel promo of all time. This is my yard now.
But he ain't dropping that mic because that's an expensive ass mic.
It's very expensive. I can't afford another one. Daddy's poor.
Real quick, before I get into like all the places that you could find us, y'all ever notice how little respect wrestlers have for microphones? CM Punk's hitting motherfuckers in the head with it. People are saying one line that's halfway decent and dropping it on the floor. Dude, those mics are expensive. Give it a rest, kid. Thanks for listening to our podcast. If you're a first-time listener, you can check us out on the podcast app on Spotify, Google Play, and Podbean. If you dig what you're hearing, please subscribe, comment, and leave us a rating wherever you're listening, and support the podcast by checking us out on prowrestlingtees.com/armchairbookerspodcast. You can also find us over on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, mostly Instagram and Facebook. Those are the ones we tend to go to. It's pretty cool. Yeah. I had to get that rant out about the microphone, though. Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's interesting is not only do they destroy microphones on the whim, I don't know how the producer for Braun Strowman's storyline has such a big budget. Motherfucker tore up a Camaro.
I know.
We need to have a counter for all the things that Braun Strowman has destroyed, because he's destroyed an ambulance, a Camaro. I don't know what kind of rental car Kevin Owens was driving that time, but shit.
Many wrestlers. I think it was an Ultima, actually.
Oh,
A
yeah.
semi-truck.
An Altima, a porter potty.
Yeah, he's flipped a bunch of nonsense, flipped the stage.
So think about that. He can flip over all that shit, but he can't take an F5. Just saying. Just saying.
Shots fired.
Someone had to say it.
You gotta make Roman look strong, damn it.
Yo, but Roman Reigns, let's talk about that as we get into what happened this week. Roman Reigns, he's back on Raw. Hell yeah.
He's raw on Raw.
After a nice Shield victory at Fastlane, which we're going to get into in a little bit with our review. But I guess we'll kick it off with Raw and SmackDown, or should we lead off with our review?
Let's talk about the weekly shit first, because we got some stuff to say about... No, you know what? Let's lead off with the review. Because
Great.
we should lead off with the review. You know why? Because then we got to talk about
chronology and all that shit.
Yeah, chronological order.
Timelines.
Cool. So let's talk about Fastlane. I liked Fastlane.
It was all right.
I
was
didn't hate
confused
it.
by Fastlane. They had so many twists and turns going on in Fastlane. Kofi Kingston was there, then he was battling the Shield or the Bar, and then he was supposed to be in a main event. And there were twists and turns. It was exciting. Mustafa came out of nowhere to be in this match. It was, to me, that's what amped it up. This is what I'm looking for in the pay-per-view. You're seeing almost everybody talk about everything they knew of, but it's what they didn't know that was entertaining.
I disagree with you wholeheartedly. I don't show up wanting the card I paid money to see the fucking change on the whim. I didn't want to see Kofi Kingston get murdered gangland style in the middle of the goddamn show. I didn't want to see I didn't want to see Mustafa Ali get shoehorned into a WWE Championship match because Kofi's got his spot now, and Vince was like, "No, this guy's the future. He's gonna be the Jinder Mahal that works." Like it's just unfortunate to say because the kid's got a bright future, but that's literally what they're trying to do.
But with the Mustafa thing, face it, they had to do something with it because
No, they
everybody else was saying, "Oh, that was supposed to be Mustafa's spot. Oh, that was supposed to be." Well, guess what? They had to get him out of there, and Kingston was deserved a WrestleMania spot, not a Fastlane spot.
Well, let's take it from the beginning and let's kind of talk about each thing. So the show started off with New Day, Big E and Xavier Woods beating Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev. Thought it was fine. Thought it was cool. You don't get a bad match out of them, but, I mean, fine.
It's also 18 in a row pay-per-view losses for Rusev.
Is 17 or 18? Son of a bitch. What are they doing with the guy?
18 in a row?
Yeah.
Why are they putting a hurting on him so bad?
I don't know. I think they had the whole Bray Wyatt thing with Rusev, where Rusev's character was so strong for one point that they were just like, okay, cool, just let him lose. And they didn't give a shit about him. So like, okay, cool, he'll lose. And then the Rusev Day thing went over, and they were like, he's losing a lot already. It's his gimmick. And so they just kept having him lose.
And then he had a WWE Championship match, and we were all like, this could be fixed.
And it was a solid match against AJ Styles.
Great
It was
match.
Yeah. Ugh.
I'm very partial to Rusev because he's literally an underused talent, and I think WWE knows that, and they will throw all the money in the world at him to not have him go to AEW.
It's not the talent that their WWE necessarily doesn't like. It's the mouthpiece they don't like.
Do you think it's Lana?
I think it's Lana. I definitely think it's Lana.
Well, you know what? If they actually made her fucking husband successful on TV, she wouldn't be barking as loud as she does.
Yeah, real talk.
And I agree with that. And I definitely agree with that. But unfortunately, you cannot have a mouthpiece like Lana and expect to be pushed in favor to see it grow, and grow. It doesn't work. He has to stand up and be his own mouthpiece, and then it would be successful.
Well, they tried that, and they didn't like him without Lana. So, like, what do they want?
Right.
They want her to shut the...
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I got to say something, too, because a lot of these matches I'm going to get pretty positive on the reviews of, but it pisses me off just a little bit, just hurts a little bit inside my soul, that we've been talking about Rusev and Lana this whole time in the New Day, and Nakamura has not come up once yet. You know why? Because they haven't fucking done a thing with Nakamura after he lost to Styles, because... I don't know. You didn't just bring in one of the biggest names from New Japan and one of the youngest IWGP champions. You didn't bring in the guy who could steal the show if you gave him the time of fucking day, who beat John Cena in a really good match. You didn't just bring that guy in. No. Just fucking throw him with Rusev. Whatever.
He's an afterthought. He's an afterthought because he doesn't fit Vince's blueprint.
So sad.
When have you ever seen, and I'm sure there's a case out there because Vince gets it correct every once in a while. Whenever you've seen a foreigner with limited mic skills get their proper shine?
I know.
Even though they're one of the greats to ever do it. In WWE, they never shine. Look at original Sin Cara. Granted, he had his own stuff. Look at Kai and Tai. That tag team was like two legitimate stars.
Yeah.
And he turned them into stereotypical jokes.
They basically had Taka Michinoku, who they were trying to build the light heavyweight division around, and they turned him into Kai and Tai, which Kai and Tai still, because of their in-ring, were still over, and because of their crazy-ass storylines. Think about that.
Indeed.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what happened.
It's crazy. But
it's a shame. I had to do it.
But listen to this. You know what match was really good next? Usos versus Shane and The Miz. I really dug this match. This match, and I've said this a couple times on pod, this match was way better than it had any right to be. And then especially what happened afterwards with Shane basically putting the whooping on the boy. Oh, man.
Well, you know, you bring up about Shane bringing down the Fury on The Miz, and you're talking about how great it was, and I gotta admit, I was watching that, and it was so predictable. I even told you.
No way.
I even told you in the predictions that is how it was going to play out to the T.
Yeah,
because
you got
it was
that.
so predictable. Now, the match itself was a phenomenal back and forth match, but to take away from that and say, oh, the entertainment came more at the end of the match because of the beatdown. Nah, that's just played out in storyline fashion, so those two can battle it out at WrestleMania. Shane needs an opponent, and The Miz needs an opponent.
Here's why I disagree with you, because the match was great. The crowd was hot. That first fucking match of the show that wasn't the pre-show, the crowd was electric. The crowd was into this match. They were into The Miz. They were into Shane McMahon. They totally gave the Usos the whole heel heat. And so the entire match was sold for me at that. Especially, too, when you got Shane McMahon up there and I forget which Uso it is, I'm sorry, but the other Uso was on the top corner and Shane drop-kicked him out of the sky. I've seen spots like that from other promotions where both guys are on top, but the way they shoot it looks like both people are up there at the same time, and like it's like, oh, well, he's obviously there. But here they made it like a shootout, which was cool. Like, you better not jump, motherfucker. I'm gonna jump, motherfucker. Die, motherfucker. That kind of thing.
And you just summed up exactly what I said. The match itself was phenomenal.
But I don't think the ending took away from it. No.
Afterward is what took away from it.
It sets up a very weird dynamic. It was, I literally knew what was going to happen. I agree with Doc. Once you got 50% through the match, you knew what was going to happen. Like, you knew that the Usos were going to retain somehow, and Miz was the easy choice to turn, but the turn that didn't make sense. He was in his hometown. His father was there. You're not turning heel in that scenario. Your partner is. It was just too cookie cutter. And what bugs me now is we're entering an era. Maybe they're doing this on purpose. Vince McMahon's a heel on TV. Shane McMahon's now a heel on TV. Stephanie flip-flops like her life depends on it. And Triple H is a face. No. Triple H is a face on TV now with this one with Batista.
At this moment, yes, with Batista, yeah, but he's notorious in the last year or so for going back and forth a little bit.
No, he's not. I agree with you. He's notorious, but I'm talking about in the storytelling perspective right now. Okay. 3 heel McMahons, 1 face Triple H, and they all work together. How is that dynamic going to play out? Because that doesn't make any sense storytelling-wise.
I hope they build on that.
Triple H tries to cut the McMahons out completely somehow. That's an interesting storyline I would like to see somewhere down the line, where you have Triple H turn on Stephanie, turn on the whole McMahon family, but now in his position of power, he has so much that he can do.
Yeah, they could build it. They could build around that.
They could build that up.
They've already done that with Kofi Kingston getting screwed for the Kevin Owens thing, and the same thing with Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch. Like, they're starting to plant seeds, I think, for something that they're not going to play on for a while.
Right.
So, we'll see. Asuka, though, beating Mandy Rose. I love Asuka. I love Mandy Rose. I thought Mandy Rose did a really good job in this match. To me, it was just a match that was, again, like, it was easy to play into. Sonya Deville did fine. But I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was like a superstar classic kind of thing, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Asuka, and I think Mandy Rose is great. I think she's come a long way since Tough Enough.
I really think that like this is a great match to show off the development of Mandy Rose, because she was put in with one of the best women wrestlers in the world right now. She's put in the ring, the lights were bright, and she shined. It was just literally like, she is a star. And she knows she's a star in a good way. She's owning her character. It's just nice to see that the future generations coming in, the bar is set very high and they're meeting it.
I don't think anyone expected Mandy Rose to do this well. Like, I think when people saw, oh, you know what? Maybe that's me also being an asshole about her, because, you know, in that whole Tough Enough group, there were a lot of people that were getting eliminated, and there were a lot of people that were just like, why the hell? Why are you gone? And between her, Chelsea Green, and a bunch of other ones, she was one of the people that people wanted to see move forward. I don't think pairing her off with Sonya Deville is really, you know, done much for her. I know they were trying to do the absolution thing before Paige was put on the shelf, but I think they're going to break her away soon. Longer. Yeah, I agree. I think they're going to break her away soon.
You know, and I agree with you guys, and not taking anything away from Mandy Rose. This is something that she's needed for a long time. Mandy Rose, I think, really started becoming more of a wrestler when she was teaming up with Goldust. And I think that also speaks a lot of the Rhodes training there, because he helped her become more of a stronger athlete. And you've seen her taking more moves that you may remember the original Goldust doing when he first entered the WWE. So seeing this now out of Mandy was great. And yeah, that match, it was kind of predictable that Mandy was going to get beat. But in the ring, they both told a great story, and I really cannot wait, because Mandy will be carrying gold very soon as she keeps on going at this path.
Absolutely. I think one thing that a lot of people overlook in this match too was that it did seem like she was playing the referee very well. You know, and WWE gets away with this shit all the time, where the referees are basically looking at some stupid shit happening and they don't call it because it's a story. But I think this one was really good, where Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville were playing against the referee very well. So I thought that was sick. The next one I have is The Bar beating Kofi Kingston, in which I can only describe as an alleyway beating, after Kofi Kingston was basically tricked into going, hey, I'm going to be in a triple threat match for the championship.
I'm going to stick with Gangland Murder.
This was hard to watch.
And the lead up to it onto Tuesday, it's just like, I'm getting blue balled, pun intended. Like, it's just it's a consistent blue balling.
I gotta say, oh, go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, it's just like, we get it. We get it. Just have the guy. I'll talk about how his match next week should go for all listeners out there, because I talked to Stoney off pod last night about it. But man, like, you gotta stop kicking us in the grapefruits every fucking chance we get with Kofi. Like, it's just like, hey, there's Kofi, because he just looks like a sad puppy as time goes on, because it's just every week my boss is kicking me square in my nards. Like, I just, like, I'm still in it. He's gonna have his Mania moment. I'm still about it, but I'm feeling for the guy, but I'm feeling sorry. I'm not feeling like we can do it. I'm feeling sorry.
Absolutely. And Kofi, and I haven't been shy about this, the Kofi match at Mania, it's still not hitting me as something that I want, and to me, it's Kofi's delivery's fault. That being said, when Cesaro and Sheamus put him in that double Boston Crab, I felt so bad for the motherfucker. And then when his boys tried to help him out, and then Nakamura and Rusev, because they weren't doing anything else that night, came out and knocked. Oh, dude, I felt so bad for him, but it didn't feel.
You know, that whole Kobe thing. You want to feel bad about it, but to me, I remember a childhood story my parents used to read to me about a baseball player taking a swing and missing over and over again. But when that last pitch came, he swung and he made contact and it was a home run. And that's what I'm seeing done with Kofi right now. They're pushing him in a corner every piece and way they can, because at WrestleMania, he is going to get that home run. He will be the champion.
I thought the poem you were talking about was
You're not
that
talking about Casey at the bat, right?
Yeah, I was. Thank
Casey
you.
at the bat, he strikes
Dude,
the fuck
Casey-
out.
Yeah, he strikes out at Casey at the bat.
He's going to get the home run, and that's going to be the twist in the WWE universe.
Kofi at the bat.
Now, see, here's the problem.
That's a shirt.
Like,
Make
you,
it.
No, you literally just quoted a historical piece of literature, and you got the ending wrong.
I didn't get
to
the
make
wrong.
it
I changed the
historical
ending to
piece
make
of
me
literature?
happy.
To be fair, I found
It's
out about
Doc's
Casey
reality,
at the
we're just
bat.
living in it.
I found out about Casey at the bat on Penn and Teller, to be fair, about a month ago. And I'm really happy I knew it because I feel smart. Just letting you all know.
I'm just offended that in Doc's reality, Casey hits a fucking homer and the whole message is lost in the entire poem.
Hey, when you're a Cup fan, that's the way to play it out in the World Series. We finally made that home run shot, and Casey came home the winner, like Kofi will at WrestleMania.
You know who-
Give me that moment.
But you know who hit a home run shot? Also, the Revival, when they beat Aleister Black and Ricochet and Bobby Roode and Chad Gable.
That match went exactly how I said it was going to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
It was going to be shenanigans and then Shatter Machine.
That was a good match, too. Let's just talk about Ricochet clearing the fucking turnbuckles and jumping out of the ring.
Dude is insane.
He's a video game character. He's a superhero.
He is legitimately a real life superhero character. From the minute that man's music hits and he comes out to the ramp to do his entrance, I feel like I'm watching a Marvel film.
Yo, yeah.
It never fails to just like encapsulate me entirely when he comes out. I'm like, I cannot take my eyes away from the screen because this man's gonna do some wild shit and I don't want to miss it.
Absolutely. And with him, I've seen his work before he hit WWE. I know a lot of people have. I know a lot of people haven't. So if you've never seen Ricochet before he stepped foot in NXT and WWE and Raw and SmackDown, you're in for a treat. But he's one of those guys that even though I saw his work before time, he could do the same shit, and I'm still super into it. Like, I've seen him do that over the turnbuckle before, and it's still amazing.
Like, he's done the 630 how many times now, and it's still like...
He's been doing the 630 since
fucking
Lucha, and
nailed
it's
it.
crazy, yeah.
Like, bro, since Prince Puma days, like, you fucking nail it every single time, and it's just insane.
I know.
He's so smooth. He's so fluid in the ring. Like, when somebody goes to hit him with a Hurricane Rana and he freaking flips off his head and lands on his feet, like, nobody else makes it look that good.
Absolutely.
And then you have him paired up with Aleister Black, and you're just like, these two guys are sick. We are definitely looking at what I hope to be future tag team champions. I don't think we're going to see it for another couple of months. I think they're going to give them more of a ride, more of a build. But just to see them already in the tag team title scene has been a really good surprise.
If you bring back AOP and really book them as unstoppable monsters, I think Raw's tag team division gets good. Because I know we were talking last time, Aleister Black and Ricochet should be going after, world championships, not tag team championships. But dude, this triple threat was amazing, I thought. And having another strong tag team with them to actually work around the division would be great. And AOP was awesome in NXT when they were allowed to run roughshod over the division. Even call up NXT, call up Street Profits, call up another really solid act. Even call up War Machine, War Raiders. Sorry, War Machine on the Indies, War Raiders here. But I think Raw is starting to build that tag team scene again. Maybe it's because of the Revival. Maybe it's because of AEW. Whatever the case may be. Because Bobby Roode and Chad Gable killed it also. Chad Gable's a fucking horse, dude. Holy crap. They need to do more with him.
Insane.
Yeah.
I mean, Gable, it's unfortunate because Gable's talent kind of gets watered down by being with Bobby Roode. I feel like if he had more of a strong singles run, putting him on a United States champion or an IC title run gives him more credibility as a singles competitor. We've only really seen Chad Gable as a tag team competitor right now, and that doesn't speak to what he can really do by himself.
To me, Chad Gable is like the next Shelton Benjamin. Like put the IC title on him, put the US title on him, just like Stoney said, and make that man have workhorse title defenses for like 4 months. Like put him up opponents that are bigger than him because he can suplex them. That's what people want to see in the mid card.
That Chaos Theory suplex, hell yeah.
They like have him Kurt Angle the mid card, where it's just like, I'm the best wrestler, prove me wrong.
And he's great on the mic. He's very underrated on the mic.
Mm-hmm.
We got Samoa Joe beating Andrade, R-Truth, and Rey Mysterio. This was a solid fucking match, and the right man won. It wasn't a one and done. It wasn't a transitional champion back to R-Truth. It wasn't a shocker, but this was a solid match. I think I'm going to say this for the overarch. This pay-per-view wasn't shocking, but it was super good.
Yeah, it was very tight. It was very tight all around.
Yeah.
It kept me entertained for the most part.
Yeah.
I want more R-Truth. I want R-Truth doing 30-minute Iron Man matches.
Mm-hmm. Fuck yes.
The man is 47. I want to see him go. Let's get R-Truth versus Cena at Mania. Give it 15 minutes and let's see magic in the goddamn ring.
Yo, I love what they're doing. How they're talking about, R-Truth looks up to his idol John Cena, yet he's 5 years, 6 years older than John Cena.
That's what I love about R-Truth.
So let's talk this real quick. R-Truth is 47. Rey Mysterio is 44. And Samoa Joe is 39. I mean, Andrade is young. I'm looking it up now. No, he's 29. Okay. Jesus Christ.
Andrade's 29?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Think about the match that was had between these ages with wrestlers, keeping themselves in just the best shape possible. R-Truth's never lost a step, regardless of how he's been booked. Son of a bitch, dude. These four, I don't know, man. I want to see, I agree with you. I want to see more from R-Truth now, too. Like, in a more serious role, though. Why not?
I don't know. I enjoy his whole like delirious, don't know what's going on, pop up during the women's battle royals. Like that's just fun to me, and I know that takes away from his credibility as a wrestler, and especially now that he's winning. Like let him have fun with it. He's been such a good sport. He's been such a good sport all this time without gold around his waist, just going around doing what he's got to do, getting by. He's been here how many years, and he's one of those people that just can disappear for a little while, but come back and still have enough of a following to be relevant.
Yeah.
I want to see,
I think they should do more.
Like him body people. I want to see him like be happy, come out, dance with Carmella. I think this is great for Carmella because it gets to show her mic work and her funny side. Like it's just going to make her a more well-rounded performer. Like because there's going to be nothing but lessons that she can learn from that man. And just have him win. Have him have fun. Like even like get it to the point where if you get him in the I would love to see the next #1 contenders match after WrestleMania is all said and done be between Mustafa Ali and R-Truth on a pay-per-view. Let those two go at it.
You said it. You said it with the Royal Rumble. There's a universe somewhere where R-Truth is challenging Brock Lesnar for the Universal title at WrestleMania.
I still believe that to be true. And wins. There's two universes. One where he loses and one where he wins.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to bring up...
We're in the multiverse, guys.
We're in the multiverse.
We're in the fucking multiverse.
I'm going to bring up this match. Boston Hug Connection versus Nia Jax and Tamina, which I don't know if this is official, but I think they're calling them... someone called them the Samoan Slaughterhouse. I don't think it's legitimate because I don't think that their sponsors would clear the word slaughterhouse.
Yeah, no.
But
that sounds like a better name for Gorillas of Destiny, the Samoan Slaughterhouse.
That's pretty sick. We'll tell them at the Bullet Club block party.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. And by the way, this match was okay. I don't like Nia Jax again.
It was actually their first official loss as a tag team, though.
Was it really?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Now, this was some time ago. Did Nia have a botch in that match? I'm assuming she had a botch in that match.
This one was hard to say because Tamina threw her up on Nia Jax's shoulders for the Samoan drop, but that one also I'm not gonna say much against Nia because that's a hard spot. The Usos nail it all the time, but the Usos
I'll do it for you.
But the Usos do the same shit. I've seen other tag teams do it, but the Usos don't even really touch the other person. I don't know. I really don't like Nia Jax, so I'm going to be curtailed on that. But this match just wasn't super good.
I think by definition it wasn't super good. It's not just because you don't like Nia Jax. I wasn't entertained. I didn't care. I mean, I also, to be fair, I'm a little biased because I also don't really like Nia Jax. I mean, she's good and talented. I just, I'm sick of it.
It unfortunately felt like this is the P break match.
It was
The
a fluff
only-
match,
Which is
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
The
it-
only
it's
thing
what I was
that
thinking.
played out in that match was at the end of the match with Beth Phoenix and with
Natalia.
Right.
Yep, that was the only like really exciting part of the match.
Absolutely. Which is sad because it was the end.
Yep.
I am excited
And
to see.
it's-
Oh, sorry. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was gonna say it's sad that the women's match was the P break because unfortunately,
That's
Yeah,
what
that's
the
just a-
women's
sorry,
it's
matches were
notoriously
known
been
for.
that, yeah.
which it sucks. But just by definition, it's not, And I'm really like I'm sick of seeing Sasha and Bailey together, like too, because it's almost like they don't know what to do with them either. It's like, okay, you guys are doing so well. You've had singles runs, you've had tag team runs. We've had you rival each other. We've had you beat tag teams. We've had one of you turn. Now we're back. It's like, enough.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. It's super true. I mean, this match. The thing is, I'm trying to find things to say about it because I'm trying to remember the match when I feel like every other match after and before this, I'm going to have some good and bad things to say. This one I just don't remember too much. I remember Sasha getting bodied, but that's what she does. I remember Bailey getting bodied, but that's what she does. But it's just there's no like real women's tag team division yet until the Sky Pirates end up fighting for the tag team championships. Then I'll probably have something to say. But
For me, I think it's just that we've seen Sasha Bailey versus Nia and Tamina so many times already.
that's probably what it is, yeah.
It's like you got to the point where it's like, why is this match even on the pay-per-view? I would have rather have not had Sasha and Bailey defend those titles at all versus have that match on the pay-per-view.
Right.
If I'm
They
being
gotta-
totally frank.
And you
They
could
gotta
have
put,
sorry.
they got to put wins on it. They have.
I
sorry,
know,
no, it's okay.
I know,
They gotta put
I
wins.
get that. I totally get that. But then give another tag team a shot. Because really, Nia and Tamina don't deserve it. If you want me to be brutally honest, they are not that great of a tag team, in my opinion, where they deserve to be fighting for the titles.
I would agree with that.
I have an idea. Why don't we defend the NXT Women Tag Titles at Takeover and Mania?
Huh. Shit.
Make them pull double duty. Put some prestige on that belt.
Dude,
Maybe we will see that. Who knows?
and imagine this. You got the Sky Pirates down in NXT, which everyone's already alluding to is going to be a thing. You got Pinup Strong, which is Natalia and Beth Phoenix, but they called them something different. I forget what their other name was. You have the Iconics. You, like you guys have said, Nia Jax and Tamina have gone against Bailey and Sasha so many times that just pairing them up as a tag team doesn't feel fresh anymore. You did have Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, Fire and Desire. So there are definitely credible women tag teams that you could put together. It's just, I guess this one was two sets of people who have fought each other ad nauseum. So it's like, okay. But I have to say with this next match, Daniel Bryan and Kevin Owens and Mustafa Ali, Daniel Bryan retains. I got to say, a match that everyone for the first part of it was chanting, "Let's go Kofi," and just trying to erode this match. Dude, these three turned that ship around. Holy shit.
Yep, they definitely won the crowd back and they got invested. And I give credit to how exciting Ali is just in general. The obvious ring general that Daniel Bryan is, combined with the also powerful ring general of Kevin Owens. They could have just fed the kid spots and it would have been a great match. That 450 to Daniel Bryan on the apron was one of
Oh
the
my God.
most devastating moves I've ever seen in a wrestling
Yup.
match.
Oh my
And
God.
I've seen horrific pile drivers, but that move looked like it hurt Daniel and Mustafa.
Oh my God. Every move in that match had you hooked. Even the stunner.
Nope, it did not.
Yo,
No.
Listen,
Fuck you.
Why not? Why not? You're
I'm
trying
hitting
to
you with
bring
the double birds right now, like Stone Cold would.
They're trying to bring Owens back with a little bit of attitude. So let's throw Stone Cold Steve Austin Stunner because they kept on selling the word Stunner, Stunner, Stunner.
I loved
And
it.
they
They're
kept
trying
on
too much
selling
with it,
Owens.
though.
They kept on selling Owens as so hard of a face, and they were shoving Steve in your face to get Owens over.
I
That's
loved
all
it.
that was. But on a 1 to 10, that was an 8.5 stunner out of Owens.
I'd say so. Hell yeah. And
I would-
also an
yeah.
8.5 match. Hell yeah.
Let's just take 4 off that because that's what it actually was, a 4.5 stunner.
Yeah.
It's garbage. It's
Yeah.
not impactful.
Right.
I am not calling Kevin Owens a garbage wrestler. He's a fantastic wrestler.
Who accidentally was forced to do this?
Who knows if he's forced to do this? Maybe it's like, hey, I want to do the stunner. The only way this gets resolved is Sami Zayn comes back and rock bottoms Kevin Owens.
Oh, that would
Oh
be
my
great.
god.
And
I
hit them
would
with the
fucking
people's
die.
elbow.
I would die.
Or
I
makes
got-
fun of the
I
stunner.
feel like they're trying to have Kevin Owens kind of embody Stone Cold's gimmick in a way. They even changed his shirt instead of fight Owens fight. Now it's fight anyone. Don't
Dude,
trust anyone.
Hey,
Wait,
wait a minute. Okay, I'll let Maverick go because mine was back to the match before, but the people's elbow rang a bell for a second.
They're taking the focus off Becky.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want Becky to be compared to Stone Cold.
Yep.
They're pissed off that a
Hello?
woman is being compared to Stone Cold, someone who is embodying the type of spirit, not exactly like Stone Cold, because he was an anomaly on his own, but she has similar things that are happening, and they're getting pissed. How did
Mhm.
we let this happen? Why did all of a sudden, out of fucking nowhere, does Kevin Owens do the stunner?
Well, he used to do the stunner.
Dun dun dun.
That was a finishing move. He just kind of like would do it to be kind of like trolly and tongue in cheek.
But see, now let's
I'm
see if
saying
he
it's
puts
being
on
brought
a
up now.
knee brace. If he puts on a
And
knee
here's the
brace,
thing
then
too.
we know.
Stone Cold. I was looking into this when he came back and first started doing this. Stone Cold is actually endorsing him using the stunner.
Absolutely.
When about a year or so ago, maybe a little bit longer, when he did it, Stone Cold was not happy about it and actually ripped him the fuck apart.
And let's talk a
So
little
it's
bit.
interesting how that all shifted, you know?
Even though he's got the stunner going on now too, Kevin Owens, let's not get it twisted. He also powerbombed a motherfucker on the apron, which is one of the, in my opinion, most brutal things you could do to another person. Your back is no longer a back.
It's
That
the
was
hardest
cool.
part of the ring.
It's the hardest part of the ring. It was amazing. But
Mamma mia.
But listen, you brought up taking the attention off of Becky Lynch. I got to put some heat on Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. It was a match. It had to happen. I get it. The way this went down, I was not happy about. But we got what we wanted. Okay. But it really just seemed like such a waste of, I don't know, 10 minutes.
So here's the thing. I don't fully agree with it being played out incorrectly. Because think about it. Look at how Becky walked into that match. We all knew the outcome was going to be Becky getting into WrestleMania, but how is that going to make Charlotte look if she has to lose clean to a really, really injured Becky Lynch? Like, really think about that. The only way that this plays out effectively and believably is if Ronda comes in, disrupts it, causes Charlotte to take the L, and Becky gets into the match. That's the only way it makes sense.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
I know I'm not wrong, motherfuckers.
You don't got to tell me shit.
I mean, I knew that was going to happen because I'm the champ.
Relax.
Well, to be fair, I think on the prediction episode, the Advocate even called it out. Becky by DQ from the champ. So it just played out
Ex-champ.
because there was no other way for that to happen to get those three into the ring. Yes, it did make Charlotte look still strong because she can continue to fight. But if they want those three together, this was the only way it would happen.
Yeah.
Like you said, we know what the main event of Mania is going to be. They already sold us on that, and they're not going to change that because of the advertisement, the dollars, and everything into effect. They're just adding a new character to the dance, and this is how it comes together now.
I guess with the whole build, though, it's always been, oh, she could fight through anything. She can blah, blah, blah. You know, they're always saying that Becky Lynch can fight against the odds, and she's, you know, not to go back to it, but very much like a Stone Cold Fight the Authority kind of thing. I guess everyone watching this match, including myself, was just like, yes, let's do it. Shit, that was a bad match. But it wasn't supposed to be a match. It was just supposed to be a catalyst and a vehicle to get to the next step.
That was meant to be a trigger to get us to where we needed to be for WrestleMania, because like I said, no way was it going to be believable for a destroyed, maybe a 40% Becky Lynch walking into that match and beating Charlotte clean. It's not believable.
Yeah.
How do you then take Charlotte any higher and any further? Because now you've just put her in a position where she's a multi-time champion over a 4-year span. She's got an incredible track record, yet she just lost to somebody who wasn't even at a 50%.
Yeah, and it wasn't even no disqualification, so obvious.
Exactly.
Which is the point, yeah. I could see that. This last match... oh, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, no, I just can't wait to talk about Ronda Rousey and how, like, her promos are burying herself and the main event of WrestleMania. But we'll get to that.
We'll talk about it when we hit Raw, and I want you to drop a massive bomb on it.
I'm gonna go nuclear.
Let's talk...
I'm saving my energy.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the Shield coming back for one night only, beating Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre. I wasn't about this match originally. I wasn't going into this match really hot on it, but goddamn, absolutely. Just like Rollins said, one more motherfucking time. I'm so happy about this.
I was so stoked. Oh man, that was great.
Hell yeah.
I love that. It was a great match. I think it gave Roman a good opportunity to get his feet wet in the ring again, get back into it, and get his flow, get his legs back under him. And you saw, really shortly into the match, he was alive, and it was like he hadn't missed a beat. So it was great to see him back in the ring. I think everybody really put on a great match, and I'm happy with the outcome. So
yeah, and they hit all the Shield hits. They played all the songs you know and love, which is awesome.
Yep.
Totally down for it. I'm also going to give some credit to people who aren't going to get credit in this match. Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre. And I'm going to say Baron Corbin took it to Roman Reigns in that part where it was just them two in the ring. Dude, Roman Reigns hit him with a fucking boot to the face. Like, totally like, shoot, sorry kind of thing. And, dude, Baron Corbin still slid under the ring and did his whole crazy clothesline thing. Dude, he didn't intentionally no-sell it, but he ran through that shit. Baron Corbin's a horse, man. He gained my respect after that.
Yeah, I'll definitely give him that.
Oh, my God. Dude, those three, I would tell you, those bad guys should make up the heel top tier of WWE for 2019. Not together, but separate. Because they all showed in that match how good they were. Bobby Lashley, man, he was just putting people down the whole time. Drew McIntyre, we already know. Baron Corbin, just, if he can get off from Fridays every time, that's fine. And then he could be a badass again. That's cool.
Well, here's the thing, though. Drew McIntyre, I think, has the most going for him out of all three of those guys. I'm going to fast forward us a little bit to Monday night because, holy shit. Drew McIntyre walked through 2/3 of the Shield on Monday night.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, let's back up a little bit. We'll talk about Monday. I gave Fastlane 3.5 just to round that out.
I forget what I gave it. I think I gave it a 3.5 also. I did give it a 3.5. Yeah.
Yeah, I set it the 3.5 as well because I like the twists, the surprises, and I thought it was a pretty solid card all the way through.
Hell yeah.
I gave it a 3.5 because of the twists and surprises.
Thank you for being a window champ. As much as you talk about the ref flip-flopping back and forth, man, you are riding these coattails, and I can't wait to kick you off to the curb, kid. I'm Doc Jones, reminding you that you can find the Armchair Bookers podcast on Apple Podcasts. You can find it on Podbean. If you pick up your favorite streaming device, go to the podcast store, type in the Armchair Bookers podcast. You're going to find us there. Know where else you're going to find us? You're going to find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Get some fabulous gear
on ProWrestlingTees.com. Show that favorite stud or studette what they are with those beautiful t-shirts, or become an official booker by picking up the Armchair Bookers Podcast t-shirt. This is Doc Jones signing off, and thank you.
Now in the next 6 episodes, you're never gonna see it coming.
I'm fucked. You know what I didn't see coming? I didn't see Dean Ambrose getting the shit kicked out of him like he did on Monday Night Raw.
Bro, when McIntyre hit that Claymore kick with his head through the fucking banister like that, oh my god. It was great. It was a beautiful sell.
It's not often that you can see crazy things like that happen and things that are unique to wrestling still. And that was something that was just brutal as hell looking and just continued to sell Drew McIntyre as just a fucking savage.
With the Shield coming off so strong, and that includes Ambrose in that trio, and we know he's leaving, you still got to push him down the peg and make someone look powerful in return. And what they did was phenomenal with it. It definitely was 5 stars on that. I want to see, that's what I want to see more of going into WrestleMania. Give me heat. Give me something to build upon now.
Meh.
Really
And now you sound like our reviewer. Meh.
I really liked Seth and Paul Heyman going back and forth at each other saying Brock Lesnar. That was really funny, and Seth did a good job.
So to write Dean off TV, because he's basically writing himself off TV, they have just McIntyre just kick the shit out of him and put a pencil in his temple. I don't care. He's going away. They made it very clear that he's going away. If he resigns, great, cool, whatever. Roman Reigns says he's working on that. Great. Don't care.
He was left off the SummerSlam promotional material. He's gone. They're preparing for his exit. There's been leaked footage that does not include Rousey or Ambrose in the promotional material of NXT, SummerSlam, Raw, and SmackDown like they did last year. Cut it up into 4 areas and have the superstars all across. Those 2 are surprisingly missing. So WWE obviously knows they won't be there. So they got to get him off, and they got to get him off the momentum, because they need to bring him down a peg in case he does sign somewhere else, because you don't want to send a star to another company, boy.
Did we not just, you skimmed over something there, Fridge. You skimmed over the fact that Drew McIntyre stabbed him with a fucking pencil.
Oh, I skimmed over it because I don't care about Dean Ambrose. And right now, unless Drew McIntyre does something worth anything, I don't care about Drew McIntyre.
I don't know, man. I think he's been doing some good shit.
No, he hasn't. And this is where you're wrong. So what has he been doing other than being on Corbin's little TGI Fridays threesome? What has he been doing? What has he been doing other than making false threats that he doesn't keep? He had his little thing with Ziggler. He technically lost that feud. He had his little feud with the Shield. He lost that. And then he acted like a crybaby the next night on Raw and beat up 2 people that he got beat by the next night because he got thrown through a fucking table. Scottish psychopath, right? Win. Then talk to me.
Here's the problem. WWE still thinks that people see Baron Corbin as a strong force.
No, they don't.
They put Drew McIntyre with Corbin to make this strong, intimidating stable. Drew McIntyre got less intimidating, in my opinion. He's being misused, in my opinion. I think he needs to be placed somewhere else. He's better as a single. He can hold his own. He's decent on the mic. He's a very good wrestler. He's very strong. He's got a good brute force element about him. He's just being misused.
Oh, he also lost his feud with Finn.
Yeah, that's right.
So I don't see the point why I should care about him.
I think when they WrestleMania reset, that's when we'll start to see all this stuff come back. I do also agree with the whole WWE thinks Baron Corbin's doing a great job. The problem is Baron Corbin is actually a really good wrestler. It's just, again, like they don't have him positioned as a guy, or as a character to take super seriously. Again, he does come out with the vest and the shirt. It made sense when he was the constable. Fine, got it. But now doesn't make sense. You have to make him match the theme song. When he first came in, dude, he used to come in with like just no lights. Or sorry, with like just black in the room and just spotlights, and it looked crazy. He looked like someone that was gonna like beat you up. It was crazy. But now he doesn't look like that. But his theme song is sick. If he came back with that kind of entrance and kept that theme song, dude, Baron Corbin would be a force to be reckoned with. Doing the same shit he's doing now. Keep everything else the same.
As the lone wolf, he was, he was good. And honestly, the Deep Six gets me every time. I think it's great.
Yeah.
And you're right, he is a good wrestler. It's just, he's watered down. He really is. I mean, the problem is, I think that he was good. He was doing well. And I hate to say this, but he started balding and people started really coming for him. Bad.
Yeah.
And he started to trip up on the mic. People started to pick up on it and they pounced even harder. He got less confident. They shaved his head. He's okay now. But he's not doing anything impressive. They're throwing him around trying to figure out where to put him.
I can agree with that.
Do.
He's not built like a strong character anymore. He's just built like an asshole.
My thing is just like I agree with my wife Mav with the hair thing. I really think that was a big like blow to his confidence.
Yeah.
But I don't think shaving his head was the answer because it was so much a part of his look. Like I don't care, but like shaving your head made you look like you did care, which took a lot of your ethos away.
Right.
Like it took a lot of like what like you were portraying away. It's like no, because like if you watch the video on WWE.com of him shaving his head with the Glam Squad, he like says like I can't wait to see what they say about this. They'll have nothing to complain about now. Yeah. Like he gave in.
Yeah.
So like his mystique was gone. So let's talk about those three, the anti-Shield, if you will. It seems like they're only put together to take down big face threats like Braun Strowman and the Shield, but then they separate and disperse and do their own things. McIntyre is on a losing streak to men that are 100 pounds lighter than him. Bobby Lashley's flip-flopping the IC title with the man that was beating McIntyre, and Baron Von Corbin is too busy managing at TGI Fridays to do anything worth his salt. So it's like, what is this anti-Shield? This anti-Shield is filled with a bunch of losers. And this goes back to our episode months ago where it's like, do wins and losses matter? Hell yeah, they do, because you stop looking strong. You stop looking believable. And you know what? I understand what they're doing. WWE treats WrestleMania as a season finale. So once WrestleMania ends, we're going to start a whole new thing. And I'm sure McIntyre is going to look like a fucking bus. I'm sure Bobby Lashley is going to look like a bus. But Baron Von Corbin's just going to get downgraded to being a manager at a Chuck E. Cheese.
That's definitely a fucking clip for the IG. Just letting you know that now. Break the fourth wall. You know who was breaking the fourth wall last week and then all of a sudden came back and really tied it up nicely? Batista and Triple H. That match, I'm so excited for that.
Give it to me. Give me what I want.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
Give it to me.
You don't
Give me
want
what
it.
I want.
I'm not giving you anything you want. Yeah, okay. But you know what? I gotta say this. Batista through that whole thing didn't come off super like angry until the end. He was like, thanks. This is the way I want to go out of my career on my terms, ending your career on my terms. It was just like, shit. You're going to kick somebody's ass.
I mean, it was cool, but it's also like Batista just said the same thing 20 times. And then Triple H was like, I'm going to get a cheap pop on the indie scene. And then the movie you were in. And it was just like,
Imagine if Batista really like was just saying, "Give him what I want," and Triple H is like, "Dude, I have no idea what you want." He's like, "I'm saying it for once." He goes, "I don't know what you want. Like, tell me what you want, and I'll figure out if I could do it. But I have no idea what the fuck you want because I don't watch you like you watch me on Mondays."
Producer wants Batista and Triple H to basically turn into the Spice Girls. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Thank you, producer. Now that's what's going through Doc's head.
Absolutely, and they're both gonna come out as like one of the Spice Girls or something.
I want it. This match is gonna be fucking dope. Like it's not two old timers that I'm like, oh, why am I watching this? It's two old timers. I'm like, they're gonna beat the fuck out of each other,
and it's a no disqualification match.
Brutal.
And it's gonna be great. And I'm so pumped.
I can almost guarantee we are going to see one of those two guys busted open. I know it's not a common thing that we see anymore, but for WrestleMania, a no holds barred match between fucking Batista and Triple H. I want to see somebody busted
It's
open.
going to be Batista.
See Triple H pull that fucking sledgehammer out and lace him the fuck up. Let's go.
It's going to be Batista because Batista loves the old school business. And he hated when they told him that he couldn't blade anymore. And he's like, oh, really? Watch this. Ha! And so, like...
If there's any place for a blade job, it's in the dirty jers. All right?
Facts.
Oh, man. I'm excited for this. Son of a bitch. I did like the little zinger he got, too. That was a cool zinger.
Give it to me. Give me what I want.
And again, he came out wearing the blue shades.
That started to hurt, though. I got tired of hearing that. The whole give it to me. That was a bit much.
It's like he forgot his script and just ran with it.
Yeah, pretty much.
And has never been on the mic before.
Whoa, wait. Wait.
You know what I'm upset about, though?
Batista's huge cock.
No, fuck. I'm over that. I'm over this whole fucking thing. Let's move on. On to the next one. Because another WrestleMania match that I'm really excited for is going to be Kurt Angle's last match.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited for that, too. But what I was more excited about is when I said that, what I just said, and JK's face was like, do I cut this from the show? But I saw him thinking about it.
I didn't reach for my phone. It's staying in.
Believe it, baby. Let's go.
But
I agree with Doc.
What Doc? What do you agree with? Spice Girls?
No. If you would listen, Steve. Thank you, Doc.
For Angle's farewell match.
Yeah, Kurt Angle's farewell match. Great. He's going to be in the ring with John Cena like he started John Cena's career. Goodbye, because this time you are going to beat John Cena because John Cena is going to lay face. I don't care. If you give me that on the pre-show, I may be entertained, but don't give me that in WrestleMania.
You put some respect on both their names, motherfucker. You listen to this. Bro. Without both those guys, we probably wouldn't even be lacing up a podcast talking about it because we'd be the fucking guys that were saying, let's go Cena. Cena sucks.
Forever. Let them kick it off with the forever so we can get into the people that we want to see lay the future of wrestling.
Yo, Doc.
I don't need that in my major match.
As your ex-advocate, then now forever these nuts, motherfucker. Listen, when you got John Cena, one of the best, going up against Kurt Angle, one of the best, this is going to be a Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair style match. I don't know if it's going to be as technically sound as this, but listen, if John Cena comes back and has this kind of, match and has this kind of build, as we know he can, and this is all obviously John Cena's going to be the person.
It is Dad Bod Kurt Angle and Dad Bod John Cena with his dad hair. I do not want to see this in my WrestleMania. I will take it during the pre-show. I'll take it in the parking lot show. I do not want it in my WrestleMania matches. There are better things that can be going on in that 15 minutes than watching a 60-year-old Kurt Angle that is the size of my grandmother and John Cena coming back out with his dad, whatever hair we're going to get. I don't want to see it in WrestleMania. I will give you guys the match. Just give me it on the pre-show because there is much better things to put on in WrestleMania than this.
First of all, let's back the fuck up. You need to apparently go to the fucking eye doctor if you think John Cena has a goddamn dad bod. That man is more That man is more shredded than all 6 of us on this podcast combined. And Kurt Angle could break your fucking neck by looking at you wrong still. This is a retirement match, you little twerp. This is gonna be huge. You want the fridge, motherfucker? You got the fridge. They are going to burn the goddamn house down because it's John Cena and the wrestling machine. Okay? This is the
wrestling
face
machine
that
needs
made the
oil
place.
because it can't go over 5 miles per hour anymore. The wrestling machine is no longer the machine. It is
really
chugging
think-
down the
You
tracks.
really
It's
think
time
that
to put
Kurt
it to
Angle
faster,
would let
shoot
his
and get it
last
done.
match be a fucking snooze fest?
And
How
that's what's
dare
going to
you?
happen. And
How
we don't need to see it in
fucking
WrestleMania.
dare you?
You're
How
so
dare
wrong,
you.
Doc. You could not be
How
more wrong
dare
about
You know
anything.
what,
That
Doc?
will
You
come
pissed me the
WrestleMania,
fuck
and we'll
off. Get
see.
off the champ show.
I know what Doc is saying, and I agree. Through
We're getting a
all of
divorce.
that, I don't care. Through all of that, those words that just came out of his mouth, the root of it was so true because time and time again, now, disclaimer, I've been watching wrestling for 3 years, but I'm tired of Kurt Angle, and I feel like this farewell shit and this, oh, this is my last time, oh, I'm not gonna wrestle again, oh, this and that happens too much. I'm done with it. It's boring. When he comes out, I'm like, oh yeah, you suck. Cool, that's right, Kurt Angle. And he starts wrestling, and I'm like, I'm gonna go take a piss. I'm done. I can't. No, I don't want to watch it anymore. The fact that it's on WrestleMania, and if this motherfucker doesn't retire for real, I'm done. I'm pissed. There's no reason why he has to be on the main card of WrestleMania and take someone else's well-deserving spot.
Yeah, no,
And he's not gonna fucking retire.
You both are gonna eat your fucking words April 7th.
I hope I do.
You are. This is ridiculous. Like, first of all, you did not watch the man's career. You've not seen him and what he can do.
No
So,
mania.
with your lack of knowledge in that area, I'm going to give you a pass. Doc,
I have respect for
on the
Kurt
other
Angle
hand,
and what
you don't
he
get a
has
fucking
done.
pass.
I do
don't
not
get
have
that.
respect at this point in
You-
time. He should have
I-
ended a while ago,
that.
and what he's been doing
Great
as the
effort.
GM and then still continuing on is done.
Match will be nothing. You can keep talking, and you know what? I'm glad I can't hear you because you're going to fucking hear me.
All right.
Don't you dare speak negatively about this match. You know,
Just
what
like Kurt Angle,
We
you
got
suck.
in a retirement match, we got Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair, one of the greatest WrestleMania moments in history. So you're going to come out and say you don't want to see a shriveled up man get one more go. Well, you know what? Look what happened when Ric Flair got his last WWE match, and he looked like walking fucking luggage.
And I still have to
he's
watch his leather ass
Okay,
get
but
beat for
goodbye,
a
I
Batista
love you.
match.
That match was a man who didn't want to quit. And that's what's exactly going to happen April 7th. When Kurt
Uh-huh.
Angle laces up his boots one last time and you get to see the wrestling machine. I don't care who he faces. He could face fucking R-Truth for all I care. You're going to get his very best because he's not going to go out like that.
Boom.
I don't think it should be compared to Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels.
Then you need
I
to spend
gotta-
time on the WWE network.
I have watched Ric Flair's career. He's great. He's
You need to
done.
watch Angle's career, though.
Done. Bye. He's been
Is
done for a while, for months, for almost a year. Done.
I like this energy. I like what we're talking about. I know you had some words, Fridge, to say about Ronda Rousey and her riveting promo style, and about
Oh, you
Dana
mean-
Brooke.
First of all, and I mean this, I hope Dana Brooke is okay because when she came out on TV, she looks completely different from the last time I saw her.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what's going on. I hope she's okay.
She actually posted on Instagram the next day about how she was like, I'm going out there as me, no makeup, hair up, like I would be at the gym, like keeping it real. This is what we all work for and fight for, and I'm going to be the person that steps up and stands up and says something to Rhonda about it because I'm sick of watching her just run through everybody and nobody's doing anything about it.
That's what's up, girl.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'm
hell
with
yeah.
it.
So big shouts to Dana Brooke.
That's a girl that needs some light because she's a super athlete and they're not.
She
using
even
her.
said too, she's like last night you saw Ashley. You didn't see Dana Brooke, you saw Ashley. Ashley came out to the ring and Ashley spilled her heart.
Absolutely. I'm going to hit her with one more thing real quick. That girl, during her entrance, does a no-handed cartwheel. They never fucking focus on it. That's fucking sick. She's never not landed it on TV. I've watched her when she's done it. Good on you, girl. Fridge, bring us home with some, bring us to light with some of your words on Rousey.
I don't know how you can cut promos to say you're the baddest woman on the planet when the sport you're currently dominating, you are claiming is fake and you don't need to be here and like the sport's not real. Like you're telling that to the audience on live TV with millions of viewers. Well, okay, well if you think it's fake and not real and not worth your time, why are you still holding on to the championship? Why are you having a match at WrestleMania? Why are you going to like have a fight under professional wrestling rules when you've openly admitted that this shit is fake? Like you've buried yourself. You're not coming back after Mania now because now you've turned yourself into a one-trick pony. Like, this is dumb. This is absolutely dumb.
She comes back after Mania, which she will. She comes back with the 4 horsewomen of UFC.
And guess what? I no longer want to see it because she buried the sport that she was made the mountaintop of.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fucking tired of her. Listen, you were a crybaby in UFC. You're a crybaby now because you can't take when people don't like you. Guess what, sweetheart? You're a celebrity. Not everyone's going to like you. Not everyone likes me. Not everyone likes Doc. Not everyone likes John. Not everyone likes Stoney. Not everyone likes Ref. Everyone loves Mav, and if you say otherwise, I'm going to beat you up. All right? So, this is the world we live in when we put ourselves out into the public opinion. You can't take the heat, get the fuck out the kitchen, and stop respecting my sport. Because all you're doing is taking eyes away from it instead of bringing eyes to it. You're doing the exact opposite. I had so much faith in you. Cut back to our earlier episodes. We did nothing but talk you up. But now you show disrespect for my sport. And let's get this straight. Let's not get this twisted because I don't want everyone out there thinking I'm a fucking smark. She's calling what we love fake. And she's using it to try and propel her character. We know it's predetermined, but what happens is real. Like, I don't care if this is a work. If this is a work, it's the most unnecessary work in professional wrestling. I don't want the thing I love to be disrespected. We had enough of that when Brock Lesnar was champion because they somehow turned a fresh start into something nobody wanted. And that's exactly what's happening with Ronda Rousey.
Here's the thing. I think had they started her off as a heel, you come in and brand yourself the baddest woman on the planet, and you're a face. It doesn't give you a lot of leverage to work with. And I feel like this was a panic move to try and make her turn heel in light of the match that's coming up at WrestleMania, having Charlotte and Becky there. Because Becky is the ultimate face right now.
But here's the thing, right? And I'm going to double down on what Fridge is saying here. Mainly this. I love I used to love The Walking Dead. I love the show called The 100. I love the Umbrella Academy. I'm giving y'all free promotion right now. Thank you. But you don't see these guys and girls coming out during the show going, oh, by the way, just so you know, the Ark really isn't a place. The Ark really isn't on fire. Superman really doesn't hate Batman. In fact, Superman's not real, unless you're John Cena. Batman's not really real. They're respecting what it is there. And you know what? They've got pageantry. They've got places where the actors can then go out and keep, their face. There's a place for that. But with Ronda Rousey coming out and going, this is fake. Fuck y'all. Your armbar sucks. This is fake. And then throwing that shit on TV, man, what you're doing is you're burying the art, like Fridge said, that we love, and you're burying the art that's making you a fucking paycheck right now.
And you know what? And to that point, like when she came, like after that, like little Twitter beef that came out where Becky made that fantastic dick joke, by the way.
That was pretty epic.
When she did that run in, she actually hit Becky. Like those shots were stiff. Like those body shots were real. Cut that shit out, girl. She's playing the game. You just don't like the game. So after Mania, I want your ass gone because you don't deserve to be in a sport that treated you with nothing but respect. And then the moment the crowd soured on you because you were booked improperly, you turned your head not on the fans, but on the sport. This is a storytelling sport. It's a rare thing. It's the only storytelling sport that in existence. I can't. I don't want to see you anymore.
I'm just going to say one quick thing. I have loved Ronda for a long time. I respected the hell out of her. She's really what got me into UFC, which by proxy had gotten me into wrestling after I gave it a chance. And she has truly let me down. She has driven me a little bit away from watching weekly. I don't want to watch her promos because I cringe. They rarely look natural. They're often wordy and unnecessary, in the worst way. And for her to attack this sport, is lazy, and it's wrong. And, I lost a lot of respect for her. Honestly, the solution I see is someone coming in. I would love if Rhea Ripley came in and just knocked her down about 12 pegs. That would be great. But someone in that similar position where they're, someone that has a lot of power, who's very strong. I would love someone to knock her down a couple pegs. She goes, quote unquote, missing for a month and a half off TV, something like that, and just comes back as learning her lesson. That would be great. Something like that, because it's really turning sour, and it's growing like a cancer. It really is.
I like the Ripley thing.
You brought up a great point with the Ripley thing. What a way to make a star. Like the night at the Raw after WrestleMania, a beaten, broken Ronda Rousey comes out screaming and crying, be like, I was robbed. This sport is fake. It's rigged, blah, blah, blah. And then you have Rhea Ripley come out and destroy the fuck out of her. Like, plant her in the middle of the ring, take her outside the ring, put her through an announce table, get back in the ring, raise both your hands in the air. That would make Rhea Ripley a star overnight as the woman who put down Ronda Rousey.
The baddest woman on the planet.
Hell yeah.
That's the dream right there.
Because she's probably got like 5 to 6 inches on her.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
easy.
looks like just a brick house. It would make the most sense.
Yeah.
I'm cutting that out. People got to hear that. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
We got to talk a little bit about SmackDown. I think we got a little bit because Raw was really powerful this week, but there's some crazy shit that happened on SmackDown this week.
Just quickly before we get into SmackDown, Bobby Lashley's Intercontinental Champion.
Hell yeah.
So just FYI on that.
Good for him. He deserves it again.
Yeah, agreed.
But bad for Finn Balor.
Yeah, he'll get his comeuppance. I'm sure.
He's gonna end up taking it back.
He's gotten his comeuppance.
Yeah.
Well, apparently the rumors are that, like, sorry, before we get to SmackDown, but like we might be getting Taker versus Finn
versus
again.
Demon.
They
Finn.
might try to do that again.
Let's see.
Why?
I hope so. I hope so. That'd be cool.
It's supernatural versus supernatural.
But it happened already.
No. What I mean is what I say by it happened is like they tried to like make that match happen.
Right.
And they didn't.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that was going to be for Mania last year.
Right.
And that didn't happen. So they're trying to do it this year.
So we'll see. But that'd be pretty cool. We'll see. SmackDown Live had some pretty crazy shit happen. I gotta say, New Day in Kingston. That stuff was pretty cool. My man, I gotta say, I don't see Kofi fighting too much for himself. And I was even saying off pod that it didn't really seem like he was the one going after it. I think it's just Big E and what the fuck's his name?
Xavier Woods.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
Big E and Xavier Woods are just solid on the mic. Kofi Kingston, I think this was probably one of the best promos of his career. And I hate that Vince McMahon is making him go through 5 people in a gauntlet match.
That's the thing, man.
Yeah.
Like
I'm back on the Kofi train. I'm back on the Kofi train.
Oh my God. Oh, I've been trying to convince you for weeks.
I'm
glad
on
we're
the
back.
Kofi train. I want Kofi to win at Mania. You heard it here on episode 42.
We all do. We all want Kofi to win on Mania, at Mania, man.
It's gonna be Kofi Mania.
Dude, here's my issue with the Gauntlet match. Is we already seen him in the Gauntlet match. That's what got him to the dance.
Right.
What should have happened is they almost had it perfectly. Because when they announced the Gauntlet match and Randy Orton came out first and we didn't know it was a Gauntlet match yet, I was like, oh, this is the best outcome ever. This is literally it. To get to Mania, you got to beat Randy Orton. Like, this is they couldn't have booked it any better than that. That would have been like, wow, the one person that buried him 7 years ago is going to be the one person he's got to get through. That's the story they had to tell. That was the only story they had to tell, because then all you had to do in that match was Kofi fighting Randy. Kofi puts in good offense, but the Viper's the Viper, and then he looked like he's about to win, and then AJ Styles interferes, and then that's how you set up their match in Mania, and then Kofi wins due to the interference. That was the story to tell, not this weird gauntlet match that's going to make it look like Kofi's about to get annihilated.
Yeah, I get it. But I think to your point, this is going to be the way that they build a few different feuds into Mania, or just kind of carry those through. That's fine. I get it. It could have been a little bit neater. It could have been a little bit more emotional in terms of, like you said, the one guy that buried him. But you know what? I'm okay with it. This is what Kofi's got to do. I am going to go on a limb and say he's not going to win it, and he's going to have to fight another way in. That's the way I see it. But
I
see.
Unfortunately agree. I actually agree with that, as unfortunate as that reality is going to be, because Kofi didn't win the other gauntlet match.
Right.
Like he just barely got, close to the end. He didn't even make it all the way through, So it's like you're putting him in a situation where he's destined to fail. Now this could be that swerve moment for him where he does pull it off. Maybe we still get, maybe it does come down to where Kofi walks through everybody else and Randy Orton is the last guy. Fridge, you may still get your wish. It is still possible. We don't know the order in which that match is going to go down yet. It could very well be Randy Orton is the last one that Kofi has to get through.
That's
AJ
what's going to happen.
Pops up just to reiterate that feud a little bit more. Now to tie into that, the promo that AJ and Orton cut on each other, fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I don't think in the time that AJ Styles has been in the WWE have I heard him cut such a real promo. He put Randy Orton through the fucking ringer verbally. He called him out on all of his shit. Everything that you've accomplished, you've had a helping hand. You've had a group. You've had evolution. You've had all these guys at your side. You've never been able to do it by yourself. Amazing.
I also like how he said, and he put his hands up, called the rip-off Diamond Cutter. I like how he basically ripped everything for Randy Orton, was just like, you wouldn't have made it in my world. You were made for WWE, but you weren't made to hoof it where I've been. And then also, as the people who know that kind of stuff, I thought it was kind of cool when Orton said, you've been getting a tan down there with Dixie, and you got the whole fucking Wolfpack thing. That was cool.
Yeah, he's like, you're going to tell me you've never ripped somebody off? And then throws the Too Sweet up. Like, the banter back and forth between the two of them was so good. that it made you just want that match so much more. Because now it's like, what are you going to see happen at Mania?
And let's be real, they're two of the best athletes, regardless of how boring Orton can get sometimes. Dude, when Orton's on and he's in that and he's got his game face on,
when
he's the
fucking
best.
slithers like that, I get so amped up when he fucking does that sometimes.
Like, where... I don't care.
Oh, man.
The promos were good. I have nothing against the promos. I don't like Randy Orton. Randy Orton is boring. Now, don't get me wrong. Is he a bad wrestler? Fuck no. Is he one of the best to ever be in the ring? Absolutely. But when is AJ gonna get his WrestleMania moment? Like, he just anytime it comes to WrestleMania season, he's in he only defended the WWE Championship once, and it was against Shinsuke in a not great match. Like, I
see this match playing out very, very evenly. And I think AJ's moment's going to come this year. I think we're going to see something to the effect of him going for a phenomenal forearm into an RKO out of nowhere, and he's going to kick out. Yeah. And it's going to be one of those moments where you're like, oh, shit, he just kicked out of that RKO that nobody should kick out of, that nobody really does kick out of. And to my recollection, nobody has kicked out of in a very long time. And I think that's going to be the moment where you really solidify AJ Styles as one of the top guys in WWE and the wrestling industry in the world.
I could see that, absolutely.
I mean, he doesn't need it because he had a phenomenal pun intended again program with John Cena. He already had a feud with the top dog. Like, it's just like there's no reason for this match.
But that's the point. John Cena was the top dog. This is now AJ Styles being the top dog.
And this is also, if you think about it, Orton coming back and trying to stake his claim again. Like, as who he is, he just walks around saying, oh, I own the world. But now he's trying to dethrone the guy who basically dethroned the guy.
Right. Now, and I'll give him the fact on the whole, AJ is thinks he's the face that runs the place. You haven't been here when it was built, this, that, and the other thing. I totally am behind him on that. You walked into the place, stuck your flag in it, and claimed it as your own and said you've been here since day one. No, you haven't. But in the same time, you've made such an impact, you may as well have been here since day one.
Right.
I mean, to be fair, I would have rather seen him fight Joe.
Sure, me too. I get that.
But without gold, that match doesn't hold enough weight for me. I want to see a match like that with gold between it. Listen, I've seen it happen. I've seen those guys go at it numerous times. If you watched our last match of the week last week, we had the fucking triple threat, and that was just throwing Christopher Daniels in that mix. But that match was just and the epitome of what those two are capable of, whether you throw somebody else into the mix or not.
Hell yeah.
Now, I just think that in this stage of their career, we've seen them go so many times, make it for gold, make it really worth my time. Not to say that it wouldn't be, but give me more. Give me meat and potatoes with that.
I don't disagree with anything you're saying, and even with the old Orton stuff, I am just like, I'm not saying this to you, Stoney, but I'm just like, impress me. Like, you two better impress me, because if that match is just a match, you wasted my fucking time.
Let's talk about.
I don't think that's going to be the case. I
do.
Let's talk about this though, because I think SmackDown was the land of fire promos this week. All Lynch had to say this week against Charlotte was, "You had the division for 4 fucking years. You didn't do anything with it." And we're eventing WrestleMania now.
You had it by the throat.
Hell yeah.
You had it at your feet for 4 years and did nothing with it. I was like, preach.
I am also, but here's where I turned heel for a second on a lot of people. You know what the planned match was before Becky Lynch ended up coming into the fray? This was the year where they were going to do an all women, or they were going to do a women's main event. And you know who was going to be in that match? It wasn't Sasha Banks. It was going to be Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey. I think it was a fire promo that Lynch said, but I think we're ruling out very hard that Charlotte Flair really has been doing shit for 4 years to help this division. I think the promo was awesome. I think Becky Lynch cutting it was awesome. But I don't want to undersell the fact of how good Charlotte really is.
I wouldn't undersell the fact of how good Charlotte is. I want to expose how pushed to the moon she was.
I like that.
Yes. She has Roman Reigns syndrome.
It's not about her skill. It's not about her ability. It's there. We've said it multiple times on the show. She could wrestle men and we want to see it. Like there is no doubt of her ability. It's just she is pushed to the moon and she's already a 6 or 7 time women's champion. Like I just can't I'm not taking anything away from the girl, but this was a moment she did not need to be in. This is a moment that did not need her star power sprinkled on it. And guess what? Ref's not here to counter me, so I win.
I am.
No, you're 100% right. This was the year for Becky Lynch. Charlotte had needed to not be there. Like, there's no reason for Charlotte to have this moment. Over the last 4 years, she's had plenty of moments. She's had WrestleMania moments. She's been part of every other pay-per-view under the sun. Why does she need to be part of this one?
What's really strange is that, like, if you look at it, like Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns have a lot of firsts in WWE. Those two are used for a lot of firsts of things, but they're also left out a lot of first of things.
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte in the women's division is not left out. She's put in every first of everything.
Right.
And you know what that does? It devalues your division because it doesn't allow anyone else to get over organically when you have the same person at the top of the mountain. So yeah, she's had the division by the throat for 4 years and done nothing with it. Becky Lynch is absolutely right. And you know what? She's still got her hand on the throat because she's still in the match at Mania.
Absolutely.
I think she's in the match at Mania at this point, though, as a safety net. In case shit goes sideways, Becky can't get the job done.
I agree with you.
Throw it on
week.
Charlotte.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's purely what I think she's here for at this point. I still don't think Vince is confident enough in Becky to really give her that backing, and Charlotte's there as a safety net.
What scares me about that is that you're putting this woman in the ring, and at any point in time, Vince can be in the back saying, "Go with Plan B." Yep. And if she wasn't in the ring, then she would have that belt. And unfortunately, I'm scared that Lynch still may not walk out. I have every belief in my mind that she will be women's champion after WrestleMania. But with that Charlotte wild card, that still leaves a 0.01% that let's go with Plan B in the back on that 3 count can be called at any point in time.
Yeah.
If they pull that shit and she does not win that match, I guarantee you Monday Night Raw's viewership will be the lowest it has ever been.
I'm going to make a bold claim right now because I agree. Sorry, I do that when I make bold claims. I'm going to make a bold claim right now, and because I agree with Stoney. If Charlotte wins the belt at Mania, the women's division is dead.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, 100%. You have destroyed the women's division on both Raw and SmackDown at that point.
Agreed.
SmackDown's division is already dead, basically.
I couldn't disagree at all.
She does not. That is not her moment. She did not earn that. No, this is not a knock against Charlotte, but Charlotte is Charlotte. Becky did this.
No,
and now you're also taking away the value of what winning the Royal Rumble really means.
And what I mean by the women's division is dead is because 1, Roman Reigns sends him with Charlotte, and 2, you're not listening to us, and you made it very clear that you don't care what we think.
They will deflate Becky so badly to the point that she may never bounce back from that.
Agreed.
And that also validates that they do not want superstars anymore.
Agreed.
Yep.
Because they're afraid if she gets beyond the business again, they lose out on money.
Yep.
This has been said. This is common knowledge. They do not want to make another John Cena.
Right.
And that is the level. Because, like, you can tell they're pulling the reins on her back a little bit.
Absolutely.
Mav was right. They're pulling the reins on her a little bit, and they don't. They got lightning in the bottle for the first time in years, and they're gonna cripple the division if they don't do it.
It's too risky. That's what they say.
Yeah. God forbid she does decide to leave WWE and does decide to do something else. Imagine that little chip on her shoulder that she has from not being pushed. What if that chip grows a little bit? What if that chip gets to a point where she all of a sudden says something wrong to that one person, and then all of a sudden she loses at Mania, and then she's forced on social media to say, well, guys, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And everybody who supported her up until this point, when she got busted in the fucking face, when all this crazy stuff happened, who's to say that WWE would recover from that?
This is one of those situations where you look at it from a perspective of like, is the juice worth the squeeze?
Right.
And I will go as far as saying that if Vince McMahon does not think that this juice is worth the squeeze, he is so out of touch with this business. He needs 100%. To give up on the XFL, and he needs to give up on WWE entirely. Sell every stock you have and be done with this company, because if you don't see the value that you have in somebody like Becky Lynch, you are so out of it. You need to be gone.
Absolutely. We got is there anything else to talk about from SmackDown, or should we just go into the match of the week?
Yes.
Oh, yes,
okay.
There is.
All right, cool.
Speaking of great promos, I love heel Shane. He started off SmackDown.
I didn't like it.
I want Shane to unleash into this like angry, crazy person who has been misused, mistreated for years by his own family, by everyone in the back. He says during this promo, he said he's been misused, that people constantly try and lean on him to get ahead.
Real talk,
yeah. And that's true. That he's been, through the ringer and everything. I want him to unleash. I want him to unhinge. I want to see him go all out and say, I'm better than this. My body has been through too much for me to be misused. I've said, how many times have I said misused in the past minute?
Probably for the amount of years that he's been misused, so it's
too
fine.
Much to have to deal with this and to be taken advantage of, to be pushed to the limit and then some by my own family. I really just want to see this grow into something bigger. I know it's not, but seeing him talk about the Miz and everything, it just, I was like, that would be so cool if he went off on his dad and Steph and like got to see a whole run like that where it was just Shane just bam, just taking people out, just rocking people and being this like brute force of like, don't fuck with me.
I did not like that promo at all. It felt super forced. It felt so forced to me. At the end when he was like, Miz, when I beat you, for me, it's going to be awesome. I just didn't buy it. It didn't feel real. I feel like he's going to get what's coming to him, which is going to be Miz putting a trash can in his face and jumping coast to coast and giving him a taste of his own medicine. That's going to be Miz's WrestleMania moment this year, and I really hope it happens for him. I've never really been a big advocate of the Miz, but I in the last couple of months, he's really grown on me. I think the tag team with him and Shane initially got that rolling, and now seeing Shane flip the script on him, I'm enjoying it. I don't know. I think it's unnecessary. Like, I get that they had to set up more feuds, they had to give us more matches for Mania, but like, I don't know.
I'm with you, Stoney. Meh. This whole thing's meh. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I like the Shane heel turn, but I don't want to see Shane wrestle. He's not a wrestler.
Yeah, he's not.
I just like.
But I don't know. That reverse triangle choke he put on at Fastlane was pretty beast. He put Miz out. I'm like, this is great.
That was one of the best Shane matches I've seen in a long time.
I mean, he's getting better even at his age, but we talked about this with the whole Angle Cena thing. If we're gonna use the doesn't deserve a spot on the card, that match does not deserve a spot on the card.
Yeah, I agree. It's a pre-show match.
Don't get me wrong.
What I would like
to
see at Mania, though?
I want to see Shane beat people up. Sorry to cut you off. I want to see Shane beat people up. I want to see every Tuesday him just going up and just murking dudes. That's cool. I want a heel McMahon that can fight because Daddy Vince is fucking old. So it's
Facts.
like I want to see like if like yeah, I'm just gonna beat up people. That's great. Let's see him an unhinged McMahon. But I don't like I don't need him to fight the Miz. Like I wanted to see Miz fight Daniel Bryan. Like I wanted to see
I'd be more into that
blow
for
off.
sure.
I wanted to see a decent blow off to that feud than that weird thing we got back in the fall. Like I just like there was a better way to do this. Shane could have turned heel on somebody else. Granted, it was crafted very well. I'm just not interested. But
No.
that's because your tag team divisions are shit to begin with.
Well, and then, speaking of the tag team division, I think we got a nice little surprise this last week with Matt Hardy coming back and us getting a little reunion of the Hardy Boys. I personally think we're going to see one last tag team title run for these guys before they finally hang them up. I really hope they get the belts at WrestleMania. I think we are going to see the Usos versus the Hardys. I hope they pull out some shit like we want to do a TLC match at Mania against the Usos. Like, you want to really bring people in. You want to really get the tag team division revitalized. You have the fucking Usos versus the Hardys in a TLC match.
It's funny. Since they've come back, the Hardy Boys, I tend to think that they've just been building the Usos and building the Usos and building the Usos and building the Usos until the Hardys are ready to fight. And now that they are, and it's WrestleMania season, it's going to be one of the best tag team matches of 2019. Because listen, the Usos have been putting on some amazing work over the last couple of years now. And the Hardys have never lost a step. In TNA, when they were doing some stuff with Ring of Honor and the Young Bucks, with WWE, no matter where they've been, they've never lost a step. And they don't always have to do the craziest stuff, but they've always been solid. And then they fucking do the craziest stuff. Ah, man, I'm excited. And this is also,
it's
if you
brothers
saw...
versus brothers.
Yeah, and if you
That's
saw...
what I'm excited for.
If you saw the Hardys talking about him also, they were like, we knew you, Dad. We beat your dad. And it was just like, oh, it wasn't even like a crazy dig, but it was just a nice way to remind you that the Hardys have been here for a while.
Yeah.
The Hardys
they're
can
one of the few
definitely...
teams that Usos have not been anywhere near touching yet. Like,
the
I
Hardys
think caliber-wise,
is one of the teams that can still walk out Uno Penitentiary as tag team champion.
What happened?
The Uno Penitentiary?
We're not playing cards, bro.
The Pizzeria Uno Penitentiary. How you doing?
Welcome to the Uno Penitentiary. That's a
My
shirt.
friend,
Write
you
that
need to
shit
draw
down.
4.
Right, that shit. Someone play the reverse. I need the mic back. Okay, let's get it. All right. So guys, well, first of all, before we get to the match of the week, which I'll let the producer hit the magic buttons, some spoilers. So for our listeners out there, I'm giving you a warning. I'm about to drop an NXT spoiler on you guys. So please go ahead and just skip probably about 2 minutes. It is just announced that Tommaso Ciampa has relinquished the NXT title, and Triple H has announced the match at TakeOver for the NXT title. It is going to be Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole, baby.
Well, fuck me.
And I almost called it last week. I said there was going to be a triple threat to squeeze Dream in there, but that was my hopes and dreams. But Adam
Shattered
Cole versus
dreams.
Gargano is coming, and it's gonna be a 5-star match if Meltzer knows any better.
It's going to be an Armchair Booker's 5-stud match, which is what really matters.
I think they're going to put the belt on Cole.
Fuck no. They can't hurt me like that. Not this time.
Only for now. Only for now, because think about it. To put the belt on Gargano now and have him hold it for the entire timetable that Ciampa's going to be gone to be able to reset that feud when he comes back, no. Give it to Cole.
They're using
give
Gargano
Cole some room. Exactly. You have Gargano already up in Raw and SmackDown. He's pulling triple duty right now. Don't try and strap him and overwork him. You're already working him a lot.
I mean,
give it to Cole. Let them do their thing with Cole.
I mean, granted, I'm going to say this much, Stoney. It would be kind of impressive to see the NXT champion pull triple duty and show why NXT is a main player show.
Ciampa was
I
doing
don't disagree with you.
Ciampa was doing it.
Yeah.
Ciampa was most certainly do it, and
No, I
it
don't
was
disagree,
nice to
but I
see
think
it
it
be
was too
turned
much.
around in this way.
No, but I think it was too much. I think putting that much work on these guys is exasperating them so much more. They're going to be way more prone to injuries. That's why they're using a limited number of guys in this capacity. Because if you start putting 7, 10 more guys on all 3 shows, your injury rate's going to be way higher. You run a risk of losing a lot more talent that way. So they're playing this out in a way that's like they're trying to be safe. And I don't think they're going to put it on Gargano, especially after Ciampa now having to relinquish after just being called up. They don't want to risk having to do the same thing again with Gargano.
In a sense, yes, you are correct. And they do want to play it safe as possible. But remember, when they got called up, they were called up by Vince McMahon. They were not called up by Triple H. This took a shock to Triple H when he found out that they were going to be pulling triple duty, as he wants to protect these guys as well. But with that being said as well, Triple H, it only calls the shots to a certain point. Vince McMahon's the one pulling the trigger. Now, if Vinnie Mac wants to put this man and have that belt on all 3 and then look at Triple H and say, let's see your show and let's see what your boys can do. Can they run with the big dogs? Can they go ahead and pull 3? Then it makes perfect sense to put that belt on there. I personally don't want to see it because I think that is going to really hurt the NXT champion. But at the same time, I think that it could amplify NXT. And where I stated before, I believe NXT will be getting a weekly show very soon. This could be the push for that weekly show.
I agree with you for them getting a weekly show and all that, but they don't need to have the NXT champion on all 3 shows like that. When you have guys like Aleister Black and Ricochet coming in and fucking killing it every single night that they are out there, you don't need the NXT champion. You're already drawing enough attention with those 2 guys, adding Gargano to that mix. Gargano is a huge draw as it is. You don't need to work your champion to the bone. Look at the situation that Ciampa's in now. It's not good.
Ciampa was hurt going into the situation. And unfortunately, it just turned around because the triple pushed it the rest of the way. But they knew what they were getting into. And with that, we will just wait and see what is happening. I'm just excited because this is going to be something that's going to be great for TakeOver.
This match of the week is sponsored by Balls Guarana. Do you remember Balls Guarana, the highly caffeinated premium soda in the unmistakable glass cobalt blue bottle? Balls Guarana has fueled the late nights for gamers, techies, and geeks for over 20 years. Balls is still available in the staple original flavor that some say tastes like an uber smooth cream soda. It's also available in 6 flavors: original, cherry, orange, ginger, root beer, and zero. Balls will offer listeners free shipping on their next order of Balls when you visit balls.com to purchase. Use the code FUELEDBYBALLS at checkout to receive free shipping on your next order. Free shipping code expires on 12/19 and it's a one-time use only. Free shipping is only available to the U.S. domestic states. Free shipping does not apply to Canada, Alaska, or Hawaii at this time. Free shipping offer is available at balls.com. Thanks so much and enjoy the match of the week.
What's the match of the week this week, big boy?
It's always fucking planned because we're always fucking prepared. What's the match of the week?
And by prepared, I mean we were talking about this today. The match of the week is Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at Battleground in 2016?
2016, yep.
Okay.
You were very confident about that.
Yeah. I mean, I totally knew it. The thing is that I proposed...
to me.
That is not true. You were there, you fucker. I was less confident because I proposed Payback 2016 with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't sure if they were both in the same year, which obviously they are because they had a feud going, #bitter rivals.
Bitter rivals.
Bitter rivals. Michael Cole's favorite fucking phrase to use all of 2016. Like Mario Ronaldo's fucking Mamma Mia shit.
Oh no, I think Bitter Rivals number 2. Big Dog is number 1.
Big
I like,
dog.
real quick before we even talk about that, I like when Roman Reigns came out for his match, he said to Renee and Corey, I know you guys don't like this, but I'm going to do it. The big dog.
He was waiting for that shit was building up for 5 months. He was sitting in that chair just ready to explode when he knew he could do that again. Are you kidding me? That was the highlight of Michael Cole's career.
That was amazing.
Hells yeah.
So this match of the week, getting back to not inserting Roman Reigns into everything. Love you, big guy. But Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Battleground, 2016. 2 helluva kicks to your fucking boy. Puts him down. How was that?
It was possibly, you know how we said last week, you know, that is if you're a young up and coming wrestler and you're getting scheduled for a triple threat match, even though none of us have laced up a pair of boots, that's the match you want to watch.
You know, call me old, call me nostalgia, call me what you want. You are correct there, Fridge, because when I watched that match, what I saw were two people that trust each other and put on a phenomenal wrestling match. When it came to that match, this match gave me chills up and down because it was a dance where each other knew each other's dance moved, and they pulled off a show that you wanted to see more. Why this rivalry continued after this and why it started before this is because it was nothing more than magical.
Hey, Doc, how about you let me finish my fucking sentence before you jump in there, buddy? All right. So what I was going to say, thank you, Doc, for just reiterating my point that I was going to finish making was...
Once again, you can ride these coattails until WrestleMania.
No. Check this out. You were riding my coattails there, motherfucker. So here it is. If you're up and coming, that is in-ring storytelling for a one-on-one match. Now, go back 3 minutes and listen to Doc's spiel, because that cooperates with what I was saying.
And it's right.
And it is correct.
Listen, kayfabe ain't dead in some parts of our podcast. I don't know what you want to say about these guys dancing and fucking smooching or whatever you want to say, like all that flowery language you used. But listen, these two guys went out there as bitter rivals and fucked each other up after their match in NXT, where Kevin Owens just decided to powerbomb Sami Zayn about 400 times. And then they got called up to the main roster and they had another match. And Kevin Owens beat him there too. This here was where Sami Zayn got his comeuppance, where he got to see Kevin Owens beg for his life. And he went, motherfucker, you're going to get another foot to the face, and hit him with a second helluva kick. They both put everything on the line for this match. And for people that didn't know the story of El Generico and Kevin Steen before WWE, this was just a great way to continue to build that story of the long history of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
KO pulled out all the fucking stops in that match. He used a goddamn crippler crossface. You know what he didn't use, though? A fucking stunner, which I'm really happy about.
Fuck yeah.
Give me a hell yeah.
The best stunner.
Producer, I don't think there's any other way to sum it up than that, than if I may throw this in behind it. The first thing you said this entire podcast that made any fucking sense.
Give me a hell yeah.
That was like the creepiest give me a hell yeah ever. That was like white van outside of your house rolling down the window. Hey kid, give me a hell yeah.
I got some candy. Give me a hell yeah.
That was like Bray Wyatt. Give me a hell yeah.
Give me a hell yeah, man.
Oh my God. We gotta cut it there. We're 2 hours. We're 2 hours in.
This is gonna be a long episode.
The Blue Thunder Bomb.
It was a good Blue Thunder Bomb.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great BTB.
Hells yeah.
It was
You know
awesome.
what Sammy sold? Sammy sold that fucking suplex onto the top rope so good though. He fucking bounced like 3 times and then flips over and just starts convulsing on the ground. It was so good. The storytelling, like you guys have been saying, was fucking phenomenal in that match. For somebody who had no understanding of the background that those two guys had, watching that match, you really understand how far back they go.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
You don't have chemistry with somebody like that if you don't work with them for years and years and years. You can tell that those guys have magic when they're in the ring together.
The only
Yeah.
two things they didn't get the chance to do were the package pile driver that Kevin Owens does, or Kevin Steen did, and the top rope brainbuster to the top turnbuckle that Sami Zayn did as El Generico. And that's simply because WWE will not let you fuck each other up like that. Other than that, everything was amazing.
Mm-hmm. And it was a great match from start to finish. Again, storytelling's very good. The fact that they know each other personally well and they know each other professionally even better is why that match was so good and flawless from start to finish. And Doc is right. It's like a dance. It's a synchronized dance that they both know all the steps to. And they mesh so well together. They work well together. And it's just nonstop entertainment.
Hell yeah. I think with that, we're going to hit the X on tonight's show. We talked a lot. You're going to listen to a lot of us. Boys, girl, where can they find us?
I tell you what, in
Just one girl.
in 4 weeks,
Just
they're
a
gonna be
singular
able to
girl.
Find us at the Black Craft Wrestling Show, and that's going to be happening on April 5th. April 7th, of course, we're going to be right across the street of the Meadowlands Arena with the Bullet Club. I don't know if you heard about that. Tickets still available. Hop on YouTube, hop on the Bullet Club website. You'll find them, and you'll find us at that event as well. They're going to find us on Facebook. They're going to find us on Twitter. We use that every once in a while. I think this microphone thing you kicked off with would be Twitter worthy. You got to keep those tweets up, Produce. You're going to find us on Instagram. And, oh, yeah, you may find us on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, whatever you listen to. Type in the Armchair Bookers Podcast, and you'll find us. Pro Wrestling Tees has us. Did I forget anything, boys? Gmail?
We
All
got
of our
one of those.
We're on Friendster, MySpace. We're out there.
I imagine if
Napster.
you keep on swiping left enough in that one app, you're gonna find us, and you can swipe up and give us a heart.
Yeah, exactly. We're on Tinder. We're on Bumble. We're on Match.com.
Why we've
Christian
taken
Mingle?
over the internet? That's why.
Make us one of your top 8 on MySpace.
So have you ever seen Wreck-It Ralph 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet? That's basically the Armchair Bookers podcast.
What a great comparison.
You know.
Give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah, man. We'll see you next week, everybody. Squaw!